Hello everyone, I'm Ayan and this is Jai and you're watching the 6th episode of our new series sponsored by Coastal Pet Products of everything you can do with your dog while being stuck at home. And today we're going to teach you how to get your dog to stop destroying things in your house. So grab your dog, get comfortable, and let's get started. So, today we're going to talk about dogs who destroy things around the house. So most dogs get to spend a lot of hours by themselves at home. Now, being such energetic and curious creatures, many times they take out their boredom on our stuff. When Chai was a puppy, I had exactly the same problem. So in order to fix this issue, I set out on a series of restrictions and exercises in order to create a new reality for him for when he has to stay at home alone. I'm going to teach you my method of how to get rid of this behavior step by step. And finally, I'll tell you my secret weapon, the one who made sure that even after we got rid of this habit, it will never ever come back again. First, you need to set some expectations. Before you demand your dog to stop destroying your house, you have to first understand what it is that he is expected to do instead. Now, in my eyes, my pact with Chai is very clear. I promise you that I will give you enough opportunities to extract your energy, and in return, when you do have to stay alone at home, I expect you to spend this time being relaxed and either sleeping, eating, or at least playing your own toys. And now, once we've said that, let's get to the method step by step.
Step number 1. Restrict your dog's territory. Since our dogs are expected to be very relaxed when they are left alone at home, they don't really need to be able to roam the entire house. We need to choose a small and controlled area for them to stay in while we're gone. You can see it as their bedroom if you like. The best thing for young puppies is a big cage or training fence. For big dogs, you can just restrict them to one room or block their space by using furnitures. In the worst case, tie them with a long leash to an open corner in the room. Make sure that they only have access to their bed, water, food, and their own toys. Back in the days, I used to live in such small apartments that I had to tie Chai to the door and push all the furniture back every day. Back then, Chai was young and had a lot of energy, but I knew that in this case it was better to have full control than to take chances that might set us back. Step number 2. Set traps. Perfect for Corona time. While readjusting the new reality of staying at home, you should also conduct exercises to correct the behavior of ruining your stuff. The last thing you want to do when you catch your dog during or after he destroyed something is to be angry at him. After a few times he'll learn that in order to get his way, he has to hide. That would make your goal of correcting this behavior much harder because now your dog knows not to do it in your face. So, how do we correct this behavior? Take a can, throw some coins in, and then seal it. Then you're going to set some traps. Put your dog's favorite chewing objects on the floor and wait with the can by your side. The second the dog touches or smells the object, throw the can near him. The timing here is very important, so make sure you get it exactly right. You want to try and make it look like it magically fell from the sky and had nothing to do with you. The point is to create a controlled trauma for the dog that is linking fear with the object itself. And the best part about it is that you get to be the good guys in the story. This trap is extremely helpful for everything you want to teach your dog to avoid. So for example, eating from the floor or jumping on the sofa or digging in trash bin and so on. Now in this exercise we are trying to reshape our dog's reality, and therefore we have to work regularly and make sure that throughout this whole time of practice our dog doesn't have a chance to get an access to anything that he might destroy, because that would set you back. And also, a very important side note, if your dog is extremely fearful or very traumatic, then I recommend you to forget about this step and put your focus on the other steps of this method. Step number 3. Test your dog's improvement. After a few months in this changed reality, in which your dog didn't have a chance to destroy anything, it is time to see if his behavior has changed. As you leave the house, put a single object that your dog loved to destroy in the past in his territory. It would also help to leave extra nice toys and snacks to help him succeed in these tasks. For starters, it's best if you try this test when you leave the house only for short periods of time. If he passes successfully, continue testing him over a period of few weeks. add more forbidden objects, and extend the amount of time your dog stays alone with them. Step number 4. Set him free. Only after following the previous steps, and once your dog shows no more interest in the other objects, you can finally set him free from all restrictions. I recommend to do this process gradually as well. At first leave him only for 15 minutes, then half an hour, and so on. This is a process of regaining the trust that was broken. Doing this step gradually might be the difference between a major success and a complete failure. So, what happens if your dog fails in one of these tests? So this is exactly where my secret weapon comes in place, and I want to explain to you how it works. So when Chai was a puppy, he used to have the same problem as I mentioned before, and we did exactly the same method as I explained to you now, step by step. As I reached the final steps, everything seemed to be working perfectly, and I could have already left Chai for a long period of time alone without any restrictions. I was starting to feel very positive that this bad habit is behind us. Until one day I came home, and as I entered to the house, very excited with my arms open wide to give Chai a hug, I noticed in the corner of the room a piece of eraser broken into tiny million little pieces. At that moment, I knew that it's just a tiny eraser, but it's a huge sign of a setback, and I had to follow my instinct. Immediately, I drew my hands back and I fell to the floor, and I started picking up that eraser piece by piece in the most dramatic way I can imagine, all along ignoring completely from Chai. The whole scene lasted for a few long minutes, but Chai's reaction to me ignoring him was the whole concept. You see, the secret weapon that I'm talking about is the discovery that I had in that moment when I created this huge contrast between the great celebration of every time I get back home to Chai, comparing to the huge drama and me completely ignoring him. And as small as that damage might have been, that incident that day made such an impact on Chai that never again has he returned to ruin anything in my house.
Okay, my friends, that will be all for today. I really hope you found this video helpful and that you're gonna try and use my method on your dog. I know it's a long process, but I promise you it's worth it. Let us know how you're doing by sharing videos of you working with your dog and tagging us or sending them to us, and maybe some of you will get to be featured in our Instagram stories. Also, I want to thank Coastal Pet Products for sponsoring this video. If you guys need really good toys to keep your dog busy when you're leaving your house, then you should definitely check them out in the link that I leave in the description box below. And I want to remind you that from now on we will be doing individual online sessions for those of you who would like to get my input on your dog's behavior. If you want to get more information about this option, send us an email to the address linked below, or just contact us on any other of our social media platforms. And on the next episode of this series, we will be talking about how to gain better control of your dog when he's far away, or in other words, how to get him to listen to you if he's not right next to you. So it was going to be really interesting. I really hope to see you there. Thank you for watching and have an amazing weekend.